I'm Nadine Vosloo. Welcome to another how-to with Tjhoko Paint. Today I'll be showing you how to upcycle or personalize those fabric items in and around your house. Whether it's a pillowcase, an old tablecloth, a duvet cover, as long as it's a natural woven fabric item, you can Tjhoko it. In front of me I have a pillowcase that I will stencil with a very beautiful Tjhoko Paint stencil design. What I have done is I've just inserted a piece of brown paper between the coats of fabric just to prevent the paint from seeping through. Tjhoko Paint has a beautiful stencil range. I'm going to make use of this stencil, and also to remember that not the entire design has to be used. I'm going to mask off certain areas that I don't want to stencil. Also refer to our stencil video with more tips and tricks on stencil work. I place my stencil down on my fabric item. I use masking tape to secure it. And I'm also masking off certain areas and parts of the design that I don't want to be on my fabric. Next, I'll use stencil brushes for this application, and I have selected two Tjhoko colors, one being Olivia's Pale and the other one being Creative Crystal. Remember, color is a personal choice, so select a color scheme that works in your space and colors that you love. I dip my first stencil brush in Olivia's Pale, remove any excess paint. This is a very important step. Press down with my free hand and I move in circular motion on top of my stencil. Next, I'll be using Creative Crystal and just fill in the gaps where I haven't stenciled yet. Remember, Tjhoko has a wide range of colors available on our website. The possibilities are endless. My stencil work is complete. I'm going to remove my stencil. It is gorgeous. Let me show. How beautiful is that? And what I'll do next is I'll just repeat the pattern right to the end of my pillowcase. The pattern has been repeated and my stencil work is complete. Now what needs to happen next is we need to wait for the paint to dry 20 to 40 minutes and then use a hot iron at the back just to heat set the color. Painting upholstered surfaces can be tricky and it's not something that we recommend on all surfaces. paint changes the texture of fabric. So something that we do recommend is to test. Test somewhere where you can first see how the paint changes the texture of the fabric before you continue to attempt the entire project. There shouldn't be a lot of movement in the foam, due to the fact that the paint can only stretch to a certain extent, and if it gets stretched too much, hairline cracks will appear on the surface. Another tip is to make sure that you're painting onto natural fabrics. So firmly upholstered natural fabrics and test first is something that we do recommend. I'm going to show the steps and then let's be creative. Firstly, my surface is firmly upholstered. I can see and feel it's a natural fabric. I'm going to use water to first wet my surface. This will help with the even distribution and absorption of the paint color. I have painted on linen surfaces before and it works well. Suede surfaces change to a leather feel and texture, and personally I don't recommend painting onto velvet. Painting onto upholstered surfaces is a quick fix, not necessarily a permanent fix. I'm using a dry paintbrush. The color I'm working with is matte black, and I'm simply going to paint thin, even coats. There are a few things that determine the amount of coats that need to be applied. First of all, it's the absorbency of both the fabric and the foam, the color of paint you are working with, and also the color of the fabric that you are busy transforming. If you are working on a very dark fabric and you want to change to a light color, more coats of paint will be required. Important tip is to wait between the coats of paint for the paint to be hand dry before you start applying the next coat. And in a few easy steps, you can upcycle or personalize those fabric items in and around your house. Aftercare instructions on fabric items that need to be washed. Please make sure that your washing machine is set on a cold cycle and enjoy the journey. Please like, follow, subscribe and turn on those notifications. And remember, don't paint it, but chalk it.